Hey, Decide Destiny crew, Carl Spreedies. Thanks for joining me for another Decide Destiny Daily Dose. Day one of the new year 2023. The most important thing we can do this year is to see where we are confusing ourselves. I have a strong belief that most of humanity, most people are very, very confused. Most of our lives we spend confused. We're young, we're kids, we know what to do. We know how to go out there and get what we want. We know how to be bold. We know how to be courageous. We know how to be creative. We know how to figure things out. And then we go and get agreements in our lives that really mess and confuse us in the most dramatic of ways. And then we go out and we act with these agreements. And then we wonder why we have so much pain and suffering. And so, for me, I can see where I was confused. I'm same as everybody, similar to everybody. I was very confused. And this year, just focus on how to get rid of some of the confusions and some of the big, and to start you off, I'm going to talk about some of the big confusing thoughts that you need to flip. You need to look at the opposite way. Same thing of if a herd of sheep, if the masses, if a group of people are heading towards a cliff, you need to get up, you need to run in the opposite direction, up the hill, look out over it and go, wait a minute, there's a cliff edge there. Folks, let's head back. So that's really, really an important thing, is to see where are some of these agreements that cause us so much suffering and pain. So 2023, let's look back 3 years. 2020 came out, right? All of that chaos and more billionaires than ever. People moving up into the millionaire, billionaire bracket. People dominating, heading towards, unicorn, trillionaire, status, right? Okay, how did someone who has abundance get more abundance when it seems we were all locked out of having abundance? How? They expanded when the world contracted. Because when the world contracts, marketplaces, market share is open up. If you're in a busy street and there's 3 other coffee shops and 2 coffee shops call it quits, and you go, oh my God, okay, it's a time of contraction, I'm just going to contract. No. Let me see how I can maybe buy one of the other coffee shops. Let me see how I can expand. So that's the essence that I'm trying to describe, is that the people that really do well expand when others contract. In 2020, everyone was contracting. I need to go into myself. I need to go to my inner soul, my heart, my personal integrity, and expand my value to the planet, to be a valuable asset to the planet, to be someone that people can tap into, tap on the shoulder. Hey, Carl, can you help me out with this? Can you do this? So I focused on my skills in photography. I focused on my skills in business, in marketing, in sales, in understanding what clients really need, what people really need with their business in terms of their content on their website. I focused on my personal growth, because you try to grow a business, but you don't grow yourself. You are a business, so you need to be growing yourself. So I focused on those elements, right? So I wanted to expand my footprint by expanding my soul, my spiritual being, my ability, my strength, my mentality, my positivity, my knowledge, my wisdom. I consumed a ton of books, and I tried to expand as much as possible as I could in that year, and it paid dividends. I decided I wanted to write a book, and then I wrote a book, and so that's what can come out of it. So first, one of the first confusing things, a year of contraction, a recession, a time of compression. I need to go and be little. You need to go and be big and expand, because there's going to be opportunities where there wasn't before. You're knocking against the door, nothing's coming through. In years of compression, of contraction, those opportunities come through. Someone who's had a business for 30 years goes, has real estate property, has a portfolio, I'm done. They're opportunities, right? So just be aware of opportunities. Opportunities as well can be problems. There's new problems. People expanded by putting their brand and selling something that we've always had, to clean your hands and masks and all these different like items that aren't new. What's the new development, new product? They just branded and sold and shifted their business. I know people that went out of their business and just that hand wash stuff. You just bought a bunch of that hand wash stuff and sold a ton of that. So that's the example here. Another point I want to bring up is be in the present moment. You hear this a lot. Be present. I just want to be mindful. Full of what? What do you want to be mindful of? Okay? That, like, it's a really important question, because I went down this path. I went, all right, I'm going to be present. I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to do all this sort of stuff. And then, the belief of, oh, look, there's no good, there's no bad. Hey, there's terrible things on this planet. There's pedophilia. That's bad. Stopping pedophilia is good. Like, there's bad, there's good. Like, people say there's nothing, it's all just emptiness. People want to lobotomize, have a spiritual lobotomy to avoid the emotions of, oh, now I'm sad, now this is painful, now this is now I don't want to feel down. You want to have a spiritual lobotomy. And the problem is, if you just go just for happiness and I just got to be up here, I just got to be everything's just got to be happy. You're going to get destroyed, because you haven't experienced and become aware of the full spectrum of life. And so when things are down, when things hit you in the face, as Mike Tyson said, when life punches you in the face, everyone has a plan until life punches them in the face. So your plan is, I just want to be happy. Life's going to punch you in the face. What are you going to do then? That's the question, okay? So being aware that life is a spectrum, you want to continue to try and have the ups in life, but realize that in order to do that, you don't have a spiritual lobotomy, you don't have an emotional lobotomy. Just, you don't burn away your personality so you don't feel the bottom and the top and the middle and between the middle and the top. You don't do that. So that's but look, this is all my personal belief, my personal realization of where I was confused, where information, and what's the difference between you and someone else doing really, really well in their life, right? It's information, okay? So why the heck are so many people depressed, have anxiety, have health problems, divorce, all these things? Why the heck, are these problems? There's so many problems on this planet. I believe everyone's in an agreement with, operating with information that is incorrect and confusing to universal laws, to your natural spiritual ability and mission on this planet. Okay, so another one is presence, right? Be present, stay in the present moment. Just be mindful. Okay, right. Now, for me, I looked at that. And a lot of people look at that because they go, the past is regret and the future is worry. Or the past is pain and the future is anxiety, right? So the past, now you've made an agreement with that past. You've decided my relationship and my agreement with the past is trauma, is regret, is I can't actually, into the future, make a positive decision that's going to better set me up for survival and thriving, because my past has been regrettable, or I've made regrettable mistakes in the past. Now, the past is dead. The past is done. It's goodbye. But the past will still affect your future if you're operating off an agreement that you sucked. And that's going to make you suck in the future, because the past is regrettable. But if you flip it and go, the past is lessons and learnings and information and education and understanding how I did something wrong, how I kind of agreed with a lot of these confusing ideologies that didn't actually serve me, okay? And then now I go and apply the future. So I go, okay, that's the past. The future is learning where I went wrong and how I can correct that. So I'm reviving the past, the dead past, in that moment, instead of reviving it of regret and go, oh, I can't even trust myself. I have regret. Instead of reviving it in that, I'm reviving it in, okay, these are lessons. How can I better direct my life towards survival and thriving, okay? And then the future being worry, right? Future being worry and anxiety. And look, There's going to be a certain amount of worry. There's going to be unpredictability. There's going to be things that we don't know what's going to happen in the future. That's part of life. That's part of the contract. It's part of what we're here for, okay? But you can predict things in the future. You can take actions in the present. Be aware of the lessons from the past. Have actions, and the present's gone like that, okay? This video's been going that second, present's gone. Present's gone. If I try and live off my present heartbeat, I'd be goodbye, okay? I believe the way of living is being in alignment, heartbeat to heartbeat, beating forward. The most important heartbeat for me is that next heartbeat. It's not the heartbeat that's gone. Can't do nothing with that. This present one, now it's gone. The present, in the moment, it's gone. It's gone into the past, okay? So the next beat, and that's the momentum. You're setting yourself up for the momentum of life, right? The momentum you want to steer your ship in, steer your life in, steer your destiny in, okay? So instead of having worry, you can actually start having creativity, have expression, have excitement, hey, no matter what way it goes, like I'm all in, my heart's on the line, I'm putting on the line, I'm putting my chips in the field, I'm putting my chips on the table, I'm putting myself in the field, I'm gonna play, I'm gonna go all out because I've learned from what went wrong in the past, I'm correcting it for the future, and what I'm doing is heartbeat to heartbeat moving forward. I'm shifting, changing, making these different decisions, focusing, this routine, this thing helps me, that helps me. This usually sets me up for a better future. This usually sets me up for a better day. If I work out in the morning, that sets me up for a great 10 a.m. meeting or a podcast or whatever it is. So that's where we get so confused and how to remove the confusion. Because if you're operating on information that is confusing, how the heck are you going to get ahead or shift your life, like actually decide your destiny and create something remarkable? You can change your state for a moment. All right, now I'm present, okay? But you can't just sit there. You can't just rely on that heartbeat just then. You've got to move forth. And if you've got an agreement that the future is worry and the past is regret, then you're going to actually, what you do is you cage yourself in to, I don't know where to go. I'm in no man's land. I'm in the middle. But the truth is there's no middle. There's past, there's future. And then there's the momentum leading into the future. So these are things to be aware of. 2023 in the new year, confusing pieces of information, trying to lobotomize your spiritual being, your emotional, try to burn off your personality, burn off who you are in order to avoid pain and suffering, which pain and suffering, the rainy day makes for when it's a sunny day. Wow, like how beautiful, how lit up is everything, how bright is everything. Wow, so I'm not saying that you want to have suffering and have pain and you want to just be all about it and create a habit of painful experiences. No, you don't want to. But you have to be aware that life has the pain of pulling the weight up and putting it down and pulling it up, pulling it down so that you can get to the muscle. And your mind, your spirit, like it's all a muscle that you're training. And you're training it either in ways that are not conducive to your survival by agreeing with things that are negative, or basically compressing or contracting, or you're training it to expand, to thrive into every single heartbeat. So guys, go out there, 2023, one of the best ways that you can have a great year is to be aware of where you've been confused and shake it out. Okay? Have a great, great year, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember, as always, decide your destiny. Cheers.